You never want to work again in your life? Then check out my upcoming YouTube podcast. Stay tuned for more. Welcome to Connecting the Dots, where I bridge the gap between banking business and IT while sharing my 3 decades of financial sector experience and nearly 10 years of working with startups. By subscribing to my YouTube channel, you'll gain fresh perspectives and thought-provoking content on how the financial world operates across borders, more specific on fintech, startups, geopolitics, China, and Brazil. Please subscribe, like, and comment. Are you looking for a way to get out of the hamster wheel and find more meaning in your work? In this YouTube video, I'll explore the power of focusing on your vision and connecting the dots to achieve your goals more effectively. The expression connecting the dots has been around since the 1800s. Steve Jobs made it famous in his Stanford speech, urging graduates to connect the dots in their lives and careers. Connecting the dots means taking bits of information and piecing them together to form a clear and insightful picture. It's a powerful tool for making sense of a complex world. Are you ready to hear the reason that motivated me for this podcast? It all started with a fireside chat I had with a colleague a few months ago on the stage of a big fintech event. We dove deep into the world of innovation and working with startups, and at the end of our conversation, my colleague asked me a question that had me thinking for days. Today, I'm sharing that question with you and my answer.
I have one thing to think, and I think it's the most pressing question in the Swiss ecosystem. And and literally this is not a joke. I get asked this at least once a week, and I need to ask the question, Mark, what the hell are you doing the whole day? We don't have any clue. You need to tell us.
And everybody is clapping, great. Well, basically, I think Steve Jobs explained that at his famous commencement speech at Stanford, right? So basically what I'm doing is I'm building the dots and I'm connecting the dots.
Why this question made me think? Well, connecting the dots is essentially what I do. I connect different ideas, concepts, and people to create something new and innovative. However, during the conversation, I realized that possibly many people do not seem to really understand what it means to connect the dots. Although it's a commonly used expression, people may not truly grasp its meaning and value. This led me to think that not many people are applying this concept to their work or life. Do you? As a result, I believe it's important to raise awareness about the power of connecting the dots. That's why I'm doing a YouTube podcast on this topic, where I can share my experiences and insights on how to effectively connect the dots for successful business and in life. What is the magic of connecting the dots? How it leads to unexpected positive results for you? Connecting the dots can have a profound impact on your life and career. The Chinese proverb, "Do something you love and you will never have to work a day in your life," holds true when you connect the dots. This approach can help you work more effectively by identifying the right things to do, not just doing the things right. When you connect the dots, things just happen naturally, almost by themselves, leading to results from unexpected areas or in unexpected ways. You will be in a flow and things will happen without effort. This approach means working smarter, not harder. Connecting the dots is essential because it leads to more significant outcomes with less effort. It allows you to see the bigger picture, find patterns, and make better decisions. By connecting the dots, you can understand how different pieces fit together and create new possibilities. It's like putting together a puzzle, and when you connect the right pieces, everything falls into place. In life and work, energy is key. To maintain a positive energy balance, it's important to gain more energy than you spend. This means doing things that fuel your passion and drive and avoiding tasks that drain your energy. By using the connecting the dots approach, you identify the things that energize you and focus on those, while leaving the ones that don't aside. This not only helps you to avoid burnout, but also allows you to be more productive, creative, and fulfilled in your work and personal life. Don't start before you lay the groundwork, else you will fail. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to get caught up in the daily grind and lose sight of the big picture. Without a strong vision, it's hard to stay motivated and focused on what really matters. As Simon Sinek famously said, it's not about what you do, it's about why you do it. If you don't have a clear and compelling reason for doing what you do, you'll struggle to find the energy, confidence, and inspiration to keep going on and connecting the dots. Without a strong vision, you'll be like a hamster on a wheel, going through the motions but never really getting anywhere. As Steve Jobs once said, you can't connect the dots looking forward, only looking backward. In other words, it's only by having a clear vision of where you want to go that you can make sense of the journey and understand how each step along the way contributes to your ultimate goal. Having a strong vision gives you an inner compass that guides you through the ups and downs of life. It helps you to stay true to yourself and your values, even when the going gets tough. And it gives you the confidence and intuition you need to make the right decisions and take bold action. So, if you're looking to connect the dots and build something meaningful, it's essential to lay the groundwork by first clarifying your vision and understanding your why. Only then you can start taking the steps that will lead you to success and fulfillment. Without this, you won't see the dots even if they are there, and if you see them, you won't have the courage to connect them. A hint: if you don't wake up almost every day fully motivated for your daily endeavors, then you might not have a clear why or a strong vision guiding your actions. Dotting your way to success. 5 tips on connecting the dots. To be able to connect the dots, first of all, you need many dots. Then you need to have the understanding to connect them. Finally, you must be able to use the power you create and bring the horsepower to the ground. Building a lot of dots is a crucial step towards connecting the dots. The more experience, knowledge, skills, contacts you accumulate, the more dots you create. So, to build a lot of dots, you need to expose yourself to diverse experiences, learn continuously, acquire new skills, and meet a lot of people. For me, there are 2 types of dots. One is knowledge points, and the other is people, meaning contacts. Fortunately, building up knowledge points can be combined with building a network of contacts. Here my concrete approach. 1. Read a lot of professional literature and learn. I wake up every day at 4:30 a.m. and study Chinese for half an hour and read a professional book for 1 hour. Doing it so early in the morning means that there are no distractions and no feeling guilty that you should be working. This way you can make sure to stick to the routine. Also, in the morning you are much more receptive. 2. Use audiobooks, such as Audible, while driving or traveling by train, while waiting for trains, while cycling, or in the fitness center. You can make the most out of your time. The professional books that I read, I usually also have as an audiobook. Listening to what I read a second time helps me to retain more. 3. When interesting videos pop up on your YouTube or interesting articles on LinkedIn and so on, save them so that you can consume them later. This way you can avoid aimlessly surfing on social media and losing a lot of time without learning anything. 4. Meet new people and learn from them. This is a perfect win-win case. You can learn from everyone, as everyone knows more about certain areas than you. Listen to people you meet, discuss with them, ask them questions. It is a win-win because you also build a relationship magically. People like it when you show interest in them. By doing this, people automatically become interested in you, and boom, a relationship is formed effortlessly. Concretely, wherever I go, whether it is in an office, a business cafeteria, and so on, if I see someone I don't know, I approach them and ask, who are you? Where do you belong to? What do you do? It may be that some people are initially surprised, but the further course is always positive. Of course, it is essential that one is genuinely interested in a person. This takes little time. You need small breaks anyway to stay focused. Why not use this time efficiently? Never just say hi. It takes hardly any time to add a question, give a compliment, or say something else that shows that this person is important to you. And don't be mistaken, she or he is important for you and your connecting the dots concept. And it goes without saying that it is a mortal sin to walk into an office without saying at least hi. Here I want to share a quote with you from the book How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. He says that every person is selfish. For example, if someone donates to the Red Cross, for instance, the positive feeling they have from doing so is more important to them than possession of the money would have been. In other words, this person is driven by its self-interest. This realization, this knowledge has helped me a lot over the past decades in networking and dealing with people. And for me, it's not at all a bad thing, but rather very natural and logical. One should be aware of this in every interaction with people. That being said, and based on this knowledge, here is my next tip for building dots. Tip number 5. Specifically for building a network, when you meet people, think about how you can help them, how you can do them a favor. There are many ways to do this that costs you a little time but can bring a lot to the other person. Don't ask what this person can do for you, ask what you can do for them. Or in other words, pay it forward, according to the well-known American movie of the same name. You are building a rock-solid, sustainable relationship, and people you help will also be happy to help you without having to ask specifically. Your approach will spread, and other people will therefore also have a high willingness to help you. This development is exponential and very powerful, and above all, incredibly satisfying. Here's a concrete example. Over the past decade, I have been working with nearly 200 fintech startups. I have given them feedback, challenged their business models, listened to them, and connected them with my contacts. My direct effort was low, but it helped the startups to move forward. I did not directly charge for this effort, nor would it have been possible to charge. Working with these talented people has taught me a lot and has been a lot of fun. I have never made my engagement dependent on these startups doing me favors in return. Today, however, I have access to a huge pool of knowledge and highly talented people. If I need expertise in the fintech area, it's available from these people, and I do not have to pay an expensive consultant who probably does not have the right expertise. If one of my contacts at a financial institution needs an innovative solution, I can help since I have insight like a few others only. Or I need the right panelist or keynote speaker for an event. I can find the perfect person from this pool of fintech startup founders who are willing to support me within minutes. It's not only about having many dots, but also about the skill to connect them. Also here one tip. Connecting the dots in any area of life requires not only technical skills and knowledge, but also soft skills, such as empathy and people skills. It's not enough to know what needs to be done. You need to be able to understand and feel how it's done the right way. This requires a deep understanding of people's needs, desires, and motivations. By putting yourself in their shoes and seeing the world from their perspective, you can better serve them and build stronger relationships and provide exactly what is needed at a given time. How can you learn this? A first step also here are books. For instance, my favorite one, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Also, a leadership course would be a good idea, but then in the end, it's learning by doing. I had the great opportunity to learn it the hard way. Relatively inexperienced, I became a project manager and was put in charge for big projects soon. On this path, I committed almost all the soft factor mistakes I could. That's how I learned. In addition to leading projects for 20 years, I have also been giving leadership lectures for about 10 years. And especially in this context, it is true that you learn the most by teaching others. Last but not least, from inspiration to implementation. Finally, you can connect as many dots as possible. If you do not implement, it leads nowhere. Also here a tip. It's important to understand that 20% is inspiration and 80% is implementation. Only connecting the dots won't do the trick. One needs to be able to prioritize work with the 20-80 approach and plan realistically, aligning the tasks along the roadmap. My experience as a project manager has helped me a lot in this regard. Self-management is especially important, and once again, it's a matter of learning by doing. A book that is very supportive on this path is Just Shut Up and Do It by Brian Tracy. Coming back on my video, why people do not get it, what I do? Why do they not get my connecting the dot approach? When someone like myself is focused on connecting the dots and subsequently on the why and is driven by a top-down vision, We are often thinking about the bigger picture and the purpose behind these actions. These can be challenging for the others to understand, as they may not see the connection between the why and the specific tasks or actions being taken. In contrast, when people focus on the what rather than on the why, they tend to concentrate on tangible tasks and activities that are easily measurable and considered productive. This is often driven by the desire for efficiency, doing things right, even if it's not the most effective, meaning doing the right things. However, those who prioritize the why may find it harder to be understood because their focus is less tangible and may not be as easily measurable. It may also require a shift in mindset from efficiency to effectiveness, which can be a challenging transition for some people. Additionally, people who prioritize the why may appear less focused on immediate tasks, as they may be spending time developing a strategy or vision. This can give the impression of not delivering in a very focused way. However, in the long run, focusing on working smarter, not harder, and focusing on a clear vision will lead to achieving the truly important goals better and with less effort. It's the way out of the rat race, away from desperately working through an ever-growing mountain of tasks and towards carefully selecting the tasks that will best bring you closer to your vision. Now, what should one do? Should you work harder to pitch to people who think more about what than why? I don't think so. Instead, one should focus on finding people who think the same way, who are driven by the why and by their vision. That's where the magic happens and where strong bonds will be built. Now, let's talk about challenges. The challenges of the connecting the dots approach is that it's not easy to monetize it. While it may be satisfying to have the ability to connect the dots and see the bigger picture, creating a business model or making a living out of it can be challenging. Some potential clients may view it as something that is easy and only takes a few minutes, not realizing the years of experience and knowledge required to excel at it. They therefore struggle to see why they should pay for this. Moreover, because working this way is an enjoyable work, or it's not even work, but just fun, it is a bit harder to have the eagerness to ask for money in return for the services. These 2 points can make it a bit difficult to create a sustainable business out of connecting the dots. It requires the right mindset of the counterparty to understand the value of it and to be subsequently be willing to pay for these services. In addition, the unpredictable nature of the work can also pose a challenge. As mentioned, and as Steve Jobs said at his Stanford speech, one may not know in advance which dots need to be connected, and therefore it's hard to provide the clear content for a consulting service. Once more, it needs the right mindset on the client side. My finding here, mindset cannot be changed easily. Therefore, I do not focus on pitching the value of connecting the dots on people who do not have the according mindset, but on those who share my belief. I hope I was able to provide you with some valuable insights. If you don't want to work ever again in your life, if you want to get out of the hamster wheel, and if you want to get back more energy than you invest, then focus on the why, on your vision, and building many dots and connect them. However, if you want to get rich quick and rise quickly and high in the hierarchy of a company at all costs, then this path may not be for you. Thank you for watching. Are you intrigued by the power of connecting the dots? Don't miss out on future episodes on this interesting topic. By subscribing to my channel, you'll get access to fresh perspectives and thought-provoking content that will challenge your thinking and expand your knowledge. But I'm not just here to share my insights. I want to hear from you too. I encourage you to like and comment on my videos and share your own experiences and insights with the community. By engaging with each other, we can all learn and grow together.